What's up, y'all? How you doing? Good evening, good evening, good evening. How you doing today?
I ain't all wrong. Is everybody all right? Is everybody okay? Doing this pandemic.
Welcome to our Below the Belt conversation. We just came up with the name like a week and a half ago.
About a week ago.
So we here today. We about to have a good time. We have an amazing panel of guests. Adonis came up with a new term. Is it a new term?
It is somewhat. Well, it is documented, and now it has a reliable source.
Okay. Let me read. Can I read it?
Please.
Okay, sweetheart.
July 16th.
In the climate of hookup NSA culture, these sexual acts are rendered more intimate connections and typically entails more emotional contact and eye contact, intimate touches, kisses, and cuddling. While typical casual encounters are primarily centered on sex, a SHS or sweetheart session also involves cuddling, romance, kissing, holding hands, foreplay, and the likes. In some cases, the SHS doesn't even have to involve sex or intercourse until a later date, or not at all.
So in layman's terms, it's basically y'all having these hookup situations, and for y'all who want to be cuddled, kiss, romance, and not just be wham bam, thank you, ma'am. You have a sweetheart session, so you want that quote unquote fiance experience, boyfriend experience, love one before they fuck on you.
So we didn't introduce ourselves for you.
Oh, we didn't. I am the Lean. I am the same dude, the lame dude, but I always be main.
And I'm I serve as the executive director of the Normal Anomaly Initiative and as president of Impulse Group Houston. Today, I serve as co-host of Below the Belt. Below the Belt. Okay?
Y'all made these shirts for us.
In 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So now we want to begin introducing our guests. Y'all go ahead, give us a share, give us a like. If y'all ready for this conversation, go ahead and start your watch parties. It's about to be a phenomenal hour. Let's have some fun. So who we got first?
Get your refreshments.
Who we got first? Kyron. King Kyron is in the building. How you doing?
Hey y'all, I'm doing good. Can't complain. How y'all?
Doing good.
Outstanding.
Tell us who you are, King Kyron.
Well, my name is Timothy Jackson. I go by the name of Kyron. I am from Houston, Texas. I am a 30-year-old Virgo, and I am currently a flight attendant for American Airlines.
All right.
Aren't you like a title holder or something?
I am the current reigning Mr. Gay Texas, US of A, and Mr. Gay Sin City, US of A.
I know that's right. Y'all don't Kyron look good. Y'all give us a little heart if Kyron.
Thank y'all.
Go ahead. What's going on? Come on with it. Oh, the children are ready. Let's read a couple comments.
Okay.
Let's read a couple comments. The children here? Yes, Virgo. Okay.
They started early. Oh.
They started early, child. Okay.
They loving your shirt.
They love
you. Me, and Timothy. Tell them.
Okay. Hey,
all over soft top.
What's your shirt mean?
Okay, so I have a brand called Soft Top that I started about a year and a half ago. My website is www.softtopapparel.com, and what I sell on there is I sell shirts, but not only for soft top. I have shirts for soft tops, hard bottoms, and smooth verse. They just fun terminologies. People think way too much into it and think that there's a certain standard that every position has to go by, which is not. It's just a play on words, and it's very controversial, which makes the line sell, and it's been doing great. So I came up with it because somebody told me that I was a soft top, and I was like, well, what does that mean? They say, because you're very dominant in the bedroom, but you're very sensitive, and I would think that I would call you feminine outside the bedroom. So if you mix the two together, you would be a soft top. And I said, well, that makes sense, and I just ran with it from there.
The children is calling because the soft top is on the line.
All right.
All right. Well, All right, well, Tim, we're going to bring you back in just a second. We want to introduce all our other panelists before we get into the conversation. That's okay with you?
Okay, so fine with me.
Okay, sound good.
Oh, Kimmy don't say she a soft top.
Oh, Kimmy's a soft top.
Shout out to Kimmy.
Jordan, are you a soft top?
I am, and basically what Karana said, I agree. I am dominant in the bedroom, but I am sensitive and soft in the street. So, you know, you get a little play on that. So I can do soft top.
I know that's right. So, Jordan, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, so my name is Jordan Edwards. I am from Houston, Texas as well. I am a Pisces, so I saw a lot of Virgo Nation, but I'm a Pisces, proud Pisces. And I do currently work for AIDS Foundation Houston. I am an HIV activist, and I also go into the prison systems and do education in there.
Okay, that's amazing. I love the work that you do. We appreciate you.
Well, hold on, Joe. Let them turn to the left real quick.
What you see?
To the right. Y'all sound it? That's right. Y'all poking honey. Let them see. Let them see.
You know, this is the buggers I got.
There we go. There we go. Bums. More.
Buggers, that's all it is.
Birds.
That's it.
Jordan,
Yeah. That's what we're doing all day because I look at
we're cutting up already, baby.
I like to keep them wet.
Y'all make sure.
Wait, George, somebody just said cut or uncut. What they talking about? Like they want.
Hold on.
What somebody?
No, Jordan, don't answer that yet. We gotta give him something else. If y'all want to know about his personal life, first of all, there are the DMs, but there is also a watch party. Start a watch party and you may answer. Okay? So, Jordan, we got one more panelist we want to have a one-on-one with, and then we're going to bring both you and Kyron back to start the conversation. Cool with you?
Sounds good with me.
All right. Oh, who is he? Who is he?
What's poppin'? How are y'all? How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me? Y'all can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Stephen Dwayne. I do also consider myself a soft top. I'm Aquarius. I'm 32 years old, and I am a store manager at Baby Mall. So yes.
Whoa, you be driving four.
And where you from?
You said what?
Where you from?
Oh, I'm from Mo City, Texas. I'm sorry.
And for those who are not familiar with Mo City, because this is a dance from the show, what is Mo City exactly?
Hold on, Rona, I'm not a bottom. That's not to start the slander. Wait, I'm sorry, what you said?
I said for those, because this is a national show. For those who are not familiar with Mo City, could you tell them what it's adjacent to?
Oh, it's a suburb on the outskirts of Houston, Texas. That's all.
All right. So, Stephen, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it. So, we're going to take y'all out and we're going to make these hoes go and share this so that they can get the conversation.
Please.
So, look, y'all see we got the people in here. We're about to have an in-depth conversation on what it means to be a soft top and be interested in sweetheart sessions. And so we super excited. Stephen must have thought that the broadcast was over. Can somebody make sure that Stephen gets back into the broadcast? Because we ain't even started the conversation. But go ahead, bring in Kyron and Jordan. And when Stephen comes in, we're going to bring him in too.
Always Mo City.
Oh, he coming back. Can y'all hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, everybody here.
Yes.
Did Stephen change again?
Come on, wardrobe.
I'm sorry, how do I get it together? Okay, I'm ready though.
Okay. So, Kyron, you started talking about this, defining like what is a soft top. You start saying that a soft top is basically like people think that you're more feminine in person, potentially, but you are, dominant in bed. Can anybody talk to me about where this came from? Because I just thought start seeing this like about 6 years ago?
Well, I was dating somebody a couple years ago, and they told me that I was a soft top, and I had no idea what that was or whatever. So they told me that I'm very dominant in the bedroom, but if they was just to walk up to me and look at me, I would give them bottom. So I was like, huh, what? And then I started hearing it a lot more. And then I was like, wow, this is really, something that's sticking. So I just played on the word. I don't want to take credit as being the originator of it, but I do think I had a little part in making it popular. But yeah, it's just basically, in the community, we have stigmas, and the stigmas are on top supposed to be a certain way. And I just don't meet that stigma of what they think a top should be. So that's where the soft top came into play.
That's good. That's good. So, Steven, we didn't ask you, but you consider yourself. No, you did say you consider yourself a soft top.
Yeah.
So you look hard, though. You look hard.
I feel some type of way about this. One of the things about you don't want the parents.
I'm so sorry. It's breaking up on my end. Say it one more time.
But I'm missing with you. But so do you consider yourself a soft top, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So you look like you present masculine. So why?
It's in the mannerisms though. I feel like for a very long time, like when I first came out, it wasn't just about how you dressed. It's also like what you were into and like how you kind of presented yourself, reference to like how you move your body, how you speak, how you talk, who you interact with. And I just, like Tim said, I don't fit in that mold. Like I like watching dance teams. I'm not into sports. You know what I'm saying? I like fashion. And I think it's very, like, people are very quick to kind of put you in a box once they kind of find out those details about you. And so I actually think that I actually saw the word being played with on the internet. And then I was like, okay, this makes perfect sense. And then like I started also using it. And then like from that, I just started having like a bunch of debates on the internet because a lot of people don't agree with it. Like, what is a soft top? What does that mean? Like, what, like a fake bottom and blah blah blah. So, like, yeah. But I do definitely feel like, although I can appear as masculine, that people do kind of challenge my preference in the bedroom based on mannerisms and things like that.
And that goes back to like the other conversation we had before dealing with heteronormative and homosexual relationships. Like, how do you have to fit this certain quote unquote description of what a top is? F-ass baby. You gotta, they want so. My thing is, you can't tell people one from because I don't know nobody who wants to be a man and he's nothing they ain't admitted to. But then like him, I'm like, you ain't supposed to the ocean. Like, where does bullshit come from? So it's good. It's all
Something is going on with my phone.
No, I don't think nothing's wrong with your phone, Steve. It's just that we can't hear Adonis. Adonis, on your side, you're breaking up, so we can't hear anything that you just said, Adonis.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately it's dark skin. It's dark skin. It's dark skin. It's because he's dark skin. I'm sorry.
Yes, we can hear Ian.
You can?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can't hear Adonis.
Yeah, we can.
Hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. It also may be the background noise as well.
Oh, okay. What about now? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. All right. So I said all this to say, stay tuned, watch. I'll revisit.
That is a really important conversation around like what does it mean to be in this like heteronormative sense of the conversation when we are gay? You know what I mean? Like sex is supposed to be one particular part of how we exist, but a lot of times it becomes the totality of who people think we are. What's your
I think that we live in a generation today where everything is so sexually driven. I think it's hard to make friends in our community because the first thing on majority of the people mind is sex. And I do think that labels play a big part in the issues. But I think a lot of the times people have to realize that people are who they are. Everybody's not a top, everybody's not a bottom, everybody's not verse. And for me, I find myself defending myself so much because people are trying to tell me that, you know, oh, a soft top is just another a quiet bottom or somebody who, you know, who's secretly a bottom. But I'm like, if I wanted to bottom, I would bottom, and I would say that, but that's not the case. So that's just an ongoing battle with our generation that I think that's not going to go anywhere anytime soon because people are not open-minded to thinking that other things can happen prior to what's seen.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, we have gotten our comments around the audio. Hopefully we fixed the audio. We muted our guests until they're gonna speak. So y'all gotta unmute yourselves, unfortunately, when you get ready to speak, so that we can actually hear your saying.
Yeah, hear me? Y'all can hear the thumbs up. Something.
Good.
Appreciate it.
All right, now we in it to win it. Okay, we in it to win it. So is there a shift in the culture of hooking up with apps? With all of this, like how we present and this dominance in the bedroom, is there a shift in how we hook up? Are you finding more people are looking for people who want to be more sensual and intimate in hookups than before, or do people really just want you to, like, for lack of a better expression, dick them down?
Right.
I'll turn it to Jordan first.
Sure. So I'm getting a little bit of both sides of that spectrum. I'm getting a lot of that. I want you to come over and I want you to dick me down. But then when I get there, then it's like I want you to have a conversation with me. And I want you to talk about things. And I want you to lay up in the bed with me. And right now with this whole COVID crisis, it's kind of concerning when you get ready to go in a place like that and be around somebody and possibly catching COVID, among other things. But I will say that there are some times in some situations I have gone and done either dick them down or I decided that we was gonna cuddle and talk. When it comes down to cuddling and talking, you have to have a different type of mindset because if you come in and you want me to come there for that reason, express that up front so it won't be anything misled. And I think that's what we have a lot of times with our generation. There's a lot of assuming and expectations without having the conversation. So you expect me to come over and dick you down, but you really want me to come over there and lay up with you. So to say that.
And it goes back to say what you mean what you say. Don't sit up here putting your profile that, you know, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for a boyfriend, for future husband, when you want to get fucked down, fucked on. If you want something more than a conversation, y'all can talk about politics, the great coupon or whatever here, like say that. when the person walk in there and then later on that y'all then had y'all session say, oh, he look real if he didn't do this. You didn't specify that. I said, you didn't specify that. The church say, amen.
Amen.
There we go. You didn't specify that before you came over there. So you got what you want.
Right.
Let that be a lesson. Don't make them read it.
So I know Stephen has been in a relationship for some time. I think.
I'm reading these comments. Y'all are wild out there. Damn. All right.
So Stephen, I know you've been in a relationship for a while. Did y'all meet on a hookup?
No, I'm not. See, the thing about me is I'm not really an app person. Because with apps, I'm a lot pickier than I am when I meet someone in person. So like if I meet you on the app and I go through your pictures, I'm like, oh, his shoes too tight, or like, oh, his look at his build. Like I don't like app culture.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like people just
Stephen, I think you doing that,
baby. Naked picture.
I'm getting a piece of it.
And they have no face picture. and they just expect me to interact with them until they feel comfortable enough to expose themselves to me and things like that nature. So I actually met my boyfriend through mutual friends, and we were actually friends before we started dating, and then it kind of just blossomed from there.
So the old school way, traditional way, y'all courted before.
So Tim, how do your hormones play a part when considering like a hookup? Like in terms of like there's attractiveness, is there a certain type of bottom that you always go after, even if you are, horny, maybe?
Well, my friends always tell me I do have a type. But however, I'm breaking out of that because as of now, I've been single for 4 years, so I haven't been successful with my type. So I think that it's time to try something different. But over, since I could remember, since I was like 15, 16, I was infatuated with light-skinned guys. And it has really, honestly, really, it has nothing to do with the color of their skin so much, but light-skinned men typically have a pink hole, and that's what drives me crazy. Everybody has that thing, and it's not really, like I said, it's not really a color thing. So y'all don't get on me about saying stuff about, oh, he don't like dark skin. No. Everybody has their things that they're turned on about. And for me, when I see a pink hole, it just drives me insane. Now, don't get that twisted, because I don't date or would not date anybody that's Caucasian or any other ethnicity other than black, and that's just my preference. But something about a black man with a pink hole that drives me crazy. So that's my preference on that.
You like it pink because you said you only want to do
So you're attracted to, light-skinned black men with a pink hole. So,
correct. However, I'm attracted to that. Like, that's my main thing. But I'm open to dating any kind of black man. I honestly think that what I'm attracted to is not what I'm going to end up with. Like, I made a post on Twitter a couple weeks ago that went haywire because I said, I pray to God that my soulmate isn't a barb. I do actually think that when I end up with somebody, it's going to be a barb. And people made that assumption that I said that I hate barbs. No, I just will prefer it not to be. But if it is, oh well.
What does a barb mean?
That'd be a whole other show because man, bitches on your leader, Pamphlet King over here. So you talking about a barb, a fan of the Queen, the high-selling female rap artist, Nicki Minaj. We ain't gonna talk about that right now.
We got a question. Harrison God asked, "What if the skin light but the hole ain't pink?"
Because that happened.
Then we cut the lights off. Shoot. Then I can't see what color the hole is.
Well, look, nephew, I know you dated some men about your complexion before a little darker. So I know it may be a plus, but it's not must for you, right?
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't have to be. Light-skinned men aren't the only people that I date. I would date any colored skin. However, if I'm out and about and I'm looking at this group of men, my eyes can go straight to the light-skinned man. Now,
before we move on to our next panelist, Tim, answer this for me. Do you normally, when you end up in those situations, and this is a whole nother conversation, do those guys that you approach you or you approach them?
I am never, I would say 95% of the time, I'm never the type to approach. And why I don't approach is because I have a huge problem with rejection. And I'm working on it. I'm learning. I think that's why I've been so single for the last 4 years, because I don't know how to approach men because I have an issue with rejection. So I always wait till men pull up in my DMs because I'm never going to pull up in theirs. I'm never going to text them first. I'm never going to inbox them on Facebook. I'm never going to text them first. Everybody has to make the move on me first because it's a huge shot to my self-esteem when I get rejected by a man, which happened years ago. And since then I haven't, rolled up on nobody first. So I've always waited for somebody to come to me.
That's a whole other show.
It is.
Thank you so much for being vulnerable. I think that when people
He
see
shouldn't have said that.
yeah.
He shouldn't have said that because his DM's about to be blown the hell up.
Really about to start the soft part of the time.
Right.
So Tim said, "Come, don't ask my name, but talk to me." And then I'm
Okay.
need to get through the quarantine.
So Steven. I'm taking this to Steven real quick.
Hold on, can you hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
So does porn work as a substitute for sex?
Does porn work for substitute for what?
For sex.
For me, yes. I am not the most sexual person in reference to like having to have sex or engage with another person. I do it now because I'm in a relationship, and of course I want to fulfill his needs. But on a regular, like unless I'm drunk or on some random ass shit, like I can just jack off and I'll be completely fulfilled. So yes, porn can definitely substitute or be an alternative to me having to lay down with a nigga I'm not gonna talk to 2 days from now.
So you need a connection sexually.
Yes, I am very much so emotionally driven when it comes to sex. If I fuck you, you are my boyfriend. So with that being said, like I just try to prevent that from happening, and I just don't deal with that kind of stuff at all. Like, cause I am that kind of, I'm very possessive in that way, and like sex to me is very emotional. So if I fuck you, like we got some kind of commitment going on here, and that has not worked out for me in my past. So therefore, I try to stay away from casual sex.
Okay. Well, I want to give the same question to Jordan. So, porn is a substitute for a hookup.
Yes. The reason why I would say that because I'll get on my sexual activities in a minute. But porn, in a sense, works for me because I'm able to stimulate myself well enough to take care of myself, and I don't have to go out and get those types of things. I can mind fuck myself. But when I go out and actually have sex with somebody, I can go and not have a certain type of connection because my attention is on what activity we're doing. So this is the performance that we're going to give. So, but I can put that intimacy, that passion into the action because that experience, even though it may last for about an hour or so, however long we want to go, it's intentional for you to remember it. I don't like just having a hookup and if it's not gonna be remembered. I mean, you may not know my name later, but you remember what this dick feel like, and that's what I really prefer to do. So when it goes on to,
well, hold on, they might not remember your name.
I'm just saying, I'm speaking. So, but when it goes down to porn, in the sense, is like this may be the interests that I'm looking at. Like Karan said about the pink hole, there are certain things that just make you jump a certain way. So, if it's something that I can look on porn, I may have a fancy for a Spanish man today. I may have a fancy for a squirt today. Whatever I'm looking for, I can find it on porn. And I think that's what stimulates me. It keeps me out of trouble.
And it's cheaper. You ain't got to spend no gas money. You ain't got to use your good lube. You ain't got to use your good snack before you get out the house.
No, I remember the dick. That's it. So as we move into the next part of this conversation, it's going to get even hotter if you guys can give us a like or a love or a care because you really liking this conversation. We really appreciate it. Below the belt, I know y'all probably listening. If y'all are the normal anomalies followers, y'all probably a little nervous. But really, this conversation is supposed to be unscripted. It's supposed to be completely unfiltered because a lot of times we do not talk about sex. We don't talk about sex as it relates to sexuality and all of the nuances that comes with it. And so in this space, what we have a chance to do is really to break down all of the stigmas and walls surrounding like what sex looks like. The other week, we talked about the empowered bottom, right? And we had a really in-depth conversation what it means to be an empowered bottom. Today, we are talking to soft tops. We're breaking down the stigma that the top has to have all of this, what I consider toxic masculinity. You know what I mean?
Well, hold on. You said the normal, and because the normal to their class, their real class, and their class, on all different levels. But the magnetic men task force, or anybody who follows us, or even follow just me, definitely know that, baby, sex is natural. all of us are a product of it. So my thing is to destigmatize anything, then we need to normalize it. And if we come from sex and we all have sex, because everybody like to see it in them comments, all y'all be either fucking on stuff, getting fucked on, if not a combination of both. So in order for us to destigmatize this and make it normal, we need to have conversations. That's how we normally do things.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. So we get back. Remember the dick is what we starting. We starting with remember the dick. Okay, you must remember, amen, the dick.
So wait, I just saw something. Okay, so because we've been going off script. So somebody said for the soft tops, how do y'all feel when a hard bottom approach y'all? When they say, give me the dick that they remember.
Oh, we be in heaven.
Oh,
it's heaven.
Yes. Yeah. Control
that's like a kid in a candy store.
Oh,
right.
So, right, pull them dicks out. Why would somebody say something like that?
Why y'all act like this? Like, why y'all act like this?
So y'all are attracted to dominant, if you would, bottoms?
I wouldn't say just for me. I can't speak for nobody else. For me, I'm just not into dominant bottoms. I'm in. My thing is pretty boys. So I'm pretty much like pretty boys, whether they are dominant or feminine. If I view them feminine, and emphasis on I, because what I see as pretty, somebody might not else see as pretty. So if I find them to be a pretty boy, that's what I go for.
I'm with it. So we're going to talk more about what Steven said around a connection being required to have sex. So we gave y'all the definition of a sweetheart session. In case y'all missed it, I'm just going to give them a couple lines.
If you go on Urban Dictionary as of July 16th, because it's there.
Right. So in the climate of hookup, NSA, or no strings attached culture, these sexual acts are really more intimate connection than typically entails more emotional contact through eye contact, intimate touches, kisses, and cuddling. So is a sweetheart session always the standard for you guys? Or are there specific times when you just want, to beat it down?
When you just want to knock on that, put it to the side, and then hit it, and then leave.
I know for me, there's times where I just want to bust down, go, and do what I got to do. My schedule is busy. I'm always on the go. So there's going to be times where I need to pop, and get on by my business. I ain't got time to cuddle or do the extra or blah. It is what it is. You can take it or leave it.
Tim said, we don't love them. Okay.
This gonna get me in trouble.
No, but still, there are times, like if I'm dating, I'm in a relationship, then yes, that's different. But it just, and honestly, I could say even if I'm dating, sometimes when we come home from a night of drunkenness and we've been out drinking palm, I need to pop because I need to get to sleep because I got to work in the morning. So we got about 15, 20 minutes to do what we need to do. We skip foreplay, go straight into what we got to do, and then we gone.
So wait, hold on. So Nicky, what if you? Because I understand if I go to work, trust me, because baby, I need all my hibernation time before I get up in the morning. So let me ask you this: are you willing to be woke up as a soft top so they can get the dick that they remember?
Repeat that.
Were you willing to wake up in the middle of the night when they tap you on your shoulder to get the dick?
Honestly, yeah, because for one, I'm a morning sex type guy. I prefer sex in the morning. So if they tap me on my shoulder while I'm sleeping, wake up, I'm popping up. Because if I'm coming home late from night being drunk, my first thing is that I'm fucked up. I'm going to sleep. Like I'm going to sleep. But if there's a tap on my shoulder after I done got me a couple hours of sleep and rest, I'm energized. Oh, we going for what we know.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So Jordan, you was gonna respond to the need to have like a sweetheart session, or do you need to bust down sometime?
Yeah, that's I said that would get me in trouble, but because I got some people listening, texting me now. So, but I will say this: I don't have to. I want to make sure you stimulate it. If I'm hitting you, and this, oh God, I'm in trouble. But if I'm hitting you in a certain way, I want to make sure you feel it. I want to make sure that I hit your prostate. I want to make sure I get to your second hole. I want to make sure that you trembling. I want to make sure that you relax. And I want to make sure I want all these things to go on. I mean, that's just what it is. So when I say remember it, I want you to remember it. Like something you haven't experienced before. So if it can't be, even though it can be like that pop, like you said, it's still going to be like, oh shit, this right here, I'm calling you back because I want this right here. That's just how I do it.
Actually, you got the ear now.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna hit.
Okay, so if Foxy was talking about baby daddy, you got the ear now. Yeah, yeah.
A little top
Got the ear
Look, we in distress. We in distress over here. We in distress.
SOS.
But that's just how I roll, because it's just like, say for instance, we only do this for, let's say we only got 30 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna make sure this stimulated and we can get to it. And if it's just like we about to get this nut, we're gonna go, okay, you gonna get yours and I'm gonna get mine. If I don't get mine, I definitely can stimulate myself. So it's still okay. But, so that's just me. Now I'm not saying everybody else gotta be like that. And it probably is because when you sleeping with somebody, I get turned on by you getting turned on. That's what works for me.
So they can even pull on you good, rollers. They pull on your hair when they want to.
I mean, if that's what they want to do.
Okay, I see this. Jordan, don't
have me in Walmart. Someone come out and pull my hair.
Listen.
You better be. I'm pulling my wave. When I got this bring on, do not pull it. Do not brush my hair backwards until I'm out or something. No, I guess I really don't care.
You can grab scalp too, though. So,
you rub it back like that, you still have a problem.
So, Steven, Steven, because you know what, Jordan over here about to make somebody go cream on himself.
Man, we got a whole bunch of views, just Jordan alone when he came up.
And did the Adonis carry.
Jordan turned
do you think? Huh? Yes. Yes. So is most of our sex like out of horniness, loneliness, or boredom? Why?
Repeat that one more time.
Is our sex mostly? Do you think most of our sex is out of horniness, loneliness, or boredom?
I think it depends on the person. Honestly, I feel like the culture that we live in, because me and Tim have kind of like the same Twitter feed. A lot of people don't really have confidence in relationships anymore. So sex kind of fills that void for a lot of people. Like they kind of get the intimacy and that feeling of having someone there through fucking. And I think a lot of people who participate in the sweetheart or the casual sex are kind of dealing with that same situation. Like they don't really have the confidence or the trust in someone to build an actual relationship, so they use sex to fill their void. But you still very much so have people out here who are fucking just because they're horny. But I do think a lot of people who participate in casual sex are in some way feeling a void, because they kind of have gone through some things, some traumatic things in their past with relationships. So sex is an easy way to kind of get that compatibility, that sensuality, that affection, and you can go about your way and I ain't gotta care or be hurt about it. So yes and no.
Okay. I want the same question for Taiwan. So is most of our sex out of loneliness, or boredom?
You're on mute.
Y'all hear us now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay,
yeah.
I would have to say, for me, I would have to say horniness. And the reason why I say that, because one, it is a proven fact that men have a high sex drive. And two, I'm never lonely, because when I'm working, I'm with people. When I'm not working, I'm a pageant boy. I'm with people. So there's very seldom times that I'm actually lonely. And I'm never bored, because I always have stuff going on. Like I have events, all the time and blah blah. So for me, it would have to be horniness. And that's okay too, because I think a lot of people overthink sex. And it's supposed to, everybody put rules and stipulations like, oh, you gotta, you know, if you have sex this many times, you're a hoe and da da da. And I'm just an open minded individual when it comes to having sex. So I don't put limitations based on how horny I could be.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions in my inbox, if y'all don't mind. Can we go to my inbox about y'all? Is that okay? Okay, cool. First question. This is specific to Jordan.
Okay.
The question is, and this is what it reads.
I'm watching it. He not lying.
Yeah. Jordan, do you like fat girls? And are you trans attracted?
Well, we say of size.
No. The question says,
okay.
The question says, Jordan, do you like fat girls? And are you trans attracted?
Yes to both of those questions. And I would say, as far as fat girls, that's just more bounce back. And so I have no problem with that. And then as far as trans attracted, it's really about a connection more than anything for me. There are some things that are more mentally stimulating for me, but if you can converse with me in a certain type of way, then I'll get aroused. And so the same thing, there's some people that are like very attractive people, like both these men on here, well, all of y'all are very attractive men, and y'all idolize in a certain type of way, and people look at you like, oh, I gotta get that, I want that, that's what I want. And if a personality don't match with the attraction, they'll get turned off. So yes, I can be trans attracted, and especially I would say for trans men, I find them attractive.
Okay. So I just want to ask the pretty boy Kyron that same question. He's in the pageant world, so I mean it makes it real interesting. So, are you attracted to big girls, and are you trans attracted?
Well, I think that is a wide range of a question. I have dated people. I mean, a lot of people see big as a different thing. Like people don't know the big or thick or blah, blah, blah. So I would say, yes, I have dated somebody who is big and thick. And also I have fantasized, as to be 100% honest, as of lately, I've been watching a lot of trans porn when it comes to female to male. That has been a big eye opener for me. And I'm about to turn 31, but I'm 30 years old, and I think that I'm still growing sexually. So as I grow and I watch and I learn what makes me get hard or what makes me be stimulated, I'm finding myself to be more attracted also to trans men. I've never experienced it. I would like to experience it before I leave this earth, but yeah, I haven't been down that route yet. If the opportunity was to present itself, which I don't know when and how would it happen, I would be open to it. But because I'm not somebody like you have to have a whole conversation with, blah blah. I just have to be physically attracted to you before I get to, I'm not as emotional as Steven. So yes.
So speaking of Steven, I know certain questions I won't ask you just out of respect. And I don't want to fight, right? But
I'm sorry, and I hate that I have to be so boring and watered down.
But
I'm so sorry.
I have a question because you were shaking your head when Kyron was saying watching F to M porn. Why were you shaking your head? Is my question.
Oh, I was just more so just like surprised by him saying that. Just knowing Tim and his past history and stuff like that. Like Tim like niggas. So I mean, for him to be expounding on his sexuality and what he's attracted to, I think that's a beautiful thing. And I wish that more I wish that more gay men would also embrace that same thing. Like, don't just put yourself in the box when it comes to sexuality. Like, like what you like. When I first came out, I was dating a trans woman. So I'm trans attracted as well. So, you know what I'm saying? Kudos to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what that is? It's growth.
Yeah, actually, it's so weird. I was telling somebody recently, my son, I literally just went on a date with a trans man on today is Wednesday, on Monday.
I can't hear you.
Oh, it's not my first time. But I'm saying I recently just been on the date. Anyway, we got another question in my here, and Adonis going to ask the question.
All right. So, you're not lying, I'm going to read. Okay, so I have a question to the South Tops. Does that mean that you guys never bottom, or is it like an 80% rule, or is it like a 90% rule or 95% rule?
Well, I can say for me, the last time I bottomed, I was about 18. So that's about 13, 14 years ago. I think for me, you have to try something in order to know if you don't like it. I tried it. I know I don't like it. And so that's how I know that I belong on the top side. Because every time I've tried the top side, I know that's where I belong. And there are some bottoms who try the top side and they know that they don't belong topping. But for some reason in our community, there's this stigma stuck on people like myself, which we call soft tops, that we're, undercover bottoms. But when it comes to me, I have to experience everything in order to know if I don't like it or not. So when I experienced that years ago, it taught me a lesson of that's not what I like. Like if I eat a food and I know I don't like it, I'm not going to eat it again, you know? So it's the same way with me sexually. If I try something, because I want to try everything at least once, before I leave the earth, I want to try majority of the stuff. I mean, I've never did water sports, anything of that sort. But I'm always open. If I'm dating somebody, my goal is to make or please. So if they say we want to try this, I can at least say that I tried this one time and see that if it happened or not, if I like it or not, and then I'm done.
Good. So look, I want to know this as we're talking about.
I don't know real loud.
Oh, hold on.
We're gonna talk about it.
So that is a conversation to be had. We are getting a lot of DMs and different things about what's going on. It's making me uncomfortable. I'm so lost. Okay, so I'm back. A lot of the content, y'all are all on Twitter and things like this. A lot of the content is about how far can a person go, right? It's not about connection. Like OnlyFans is all about, like the other day, I was on Twitter, scrolling through Twitter, and somebody was on at the laundromat sitting on a little folding thing, and they had the dildo, and they were like really going in with the mask on at the laundromat, like really going in. So it's about like how far can I go, right? How crazy can I be? Where did that culture come from of like this push to be as voyeuristic and public as you possibly can be?
You got it. I'll say I think a lot of times with men, and this could be just me saying this, we're competitive in a sense. So it's always that one-up type of thing. And it's like they're looking at like, oh, they're doing it on porn, so I can do it too. They got OnlyFans, let me make one too. Let me make this bag, let me get this coin. And I think that is desensitized when it comes down to sex, because then when you get ready to have sex with somebody and they don't perform a certain type of way, then you're like, oh, you ain't doing it like such and such on Twitter. Now, when it comes down to that voyeuristic type of attitude, we've done all the positions, we've done all different types of sports, we've done all these facials and things like that. So now what do? We go outside. So I think that's what causes a lot of that attitude, because we have so much media causing us to look at what we're doing on a larger spectrum, seeing somebody else doing it, like, oh, I got to do that too. I ain't doing that. Like Steven said, he was watered down or being more censored probably than I am. And that's probably because of relationship. I get it. But we look at everything in that aspect of trying to one up somebody else. Who's bigger? What's thicker? How much can you take? How far can you ride? All that type of stuff.
Yeah.
How far can you ride?
What about you, Aaron? What's your thoughts about that?
I think that we are living in an age where we have seen everything and everything has been done. So now people are looking for new ways to stimulate themselves and to stimulate their audiences. So as we're going on day by day, people are getting innovative on ways to make people attracted or get people to turn on or getting people to subscribe to their OnlyFans. So with that being said, people are going out their way to doing things that has never been seen and things that they think that's going to entice their viewing on social media. I don't quite agree with that setting because I'm all for people going out and doing their thing, like, you know, sex at, you know, outside or whatever. But however, I think some places are off limits. Like, I honestly think that parks should be off limits. I do think that places like the laundromat should be off limits because usually if you're in the laundromat, there's families there, there is kids there. So just imagine if you were to happen to get caught by someone of that sort, you know. And that's something that can really fuck a kid up for the rest of their life, you know, if they was to see that, you know, something of that sort. And we've all been in different backgrounds and been in situations to where we have seen things that kind of really messed us up in the head. So I just don't wish it on every child. So I do think there's a limit and a thin line that can be crossed. But I do think that there is still a way to make it fun and innovative without going the extra mile.
So I just want to stop just for a second and talk about something that we feel is really important. Adonis has a really in-depth perspective, but I want to bring this up. So we were just talking about trans men, and our some of us have like a new admiration for trans men. For me, you know, I've been talking to trans men for some time. Adonis, I don't want to out you, so you can say your relationship with him. I mean, I didn't.
No, it's fine because what we want to do is make sure we're not anything that we play right or not at all. So we don't want to sit up here and I'm based on the comments that we're getting in DMs, text messages. So we're not saying to fetishize trans men. That's not what it is. It's definitely understandable to be a gay man attracted to a man. So let me say this, because y'all, for the most part, everybody who's tuning in knows me, you probably know of me, but a lot of things I don't put to the forefront. My biological family, the relationship. So this is be completely transparent. My boyfriend is a trans man. So I don't want anyone to think that we're trying to fetishize trans men and things of that nature. I do understand that this platform, especially when it came up, that it's new to a lot of people. Yeah. But we're not trying to fetishize trans men. And I think Malachi said, y'all are crazy in this comment. Malachi said, for those who are trans attracted, is it just limited to trans men or also trans women, including the host? I can tell you as far as me, I'm strictly addicted. As far as like strictly addicted, as far as like the appearance of a man, I like men. Like I don't know what anything looks like below the waist. I'm attracted to men. I definitely do think my trans sisters are beautiful things of that nature. However, as far as me, again, we're gonna play right, and we're in the hot seat to it as host. So yes, I am trans attracted to trans men, but that doesn't mean that I'm promoting to fetishize them and just to only characterize them as being sexual for anybody.
And I think it's also important to talk about the fact that though this is not new, trans men, trans women, non-binary, gender non-conforming, none of that is new, but for a lot of the public, including a lot of queer people, it's a new term. And so we gotta watch out like how it looks to objectify trans people. But also I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that as queer people, especially as like gay men, we are really figuring out what sex and sexuality look like for us
and what it's not limited to.
And what it's not limited to. We have been prior in past situations, we have been limited to liking, like when I came out, the only thing you could be is a bottom, right? There was no conversation about like gay men being quote unquote masculine, whatever that looks like, quote unquote, you know, what all those like stigmas. And so in terms of us having this conversation, we never mean to objectify, and we definitely don't mean to fetishize, but we do want to applaud when people are expanding their horizons, because trans men have always been here, trans women have always been here, and always will be here. So we wanted to make sure we were clear in that statement before we continue?
Oh, and then but before we do that, because they said the host and not put in business out there. In I had a definitely personal phase, so we can share this. As Ian stated before that he wanted to date with a trans man, this is nothing new to Ian nor myself. I've dated other trans men before in the past. Ian has definitely had other
trans men, trans women, non-binary. Listen. I am here for it all. But I want to open it up also to the panelists to just like comment on what we just talked about.
Now Stevie did say that he's dated a trans woman.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Neither one of y'all want to say nothing?
Yeah,
I just didn't want to start. Okay. So as far as it comes down to objectifying trans men, that was not neither one of our intentions. I think we are having a conversation around the intellect or the intensity of our thoughts in our mind, and that has occurred. And I think that's kind of where we're going with the conversation, and not to make anybody feel like, oh, that's specifically what we're looking for. Just like Karan said, he's not specifically looking for a pink hole, that just spikes his interest. And so I feel that trans men, there's something about individuals as one. You know, when you look at a Spanish man, you may look at him for having long hair, you may look at him for being thin or having nice butt. You know, you have certain things that you're attracted to. So exploring yourself and not being so close-minded, because we have done that for so long that if you're gay, then you're gay. You like men, you like dick only. You take your top, you only give it. You don't give head, you don't do nothing. And I think we have to learn how to explore who we are as individuals.
You give head?
Do I give head? Of course. Okay. I mean,
by like eating the head. You talking about like
I'm an old school. I've heard you gotta lick it before you stick it, so I'm familiar with all those terminologies. So keep up with it.
Before you vote,
but it goes back to that's where we are. I think as people, you know, you don't know what you like until you try it. So I agree that it's not about objectifying them as people. And to answer the question about trans women, I am, but there's a certain thing about a woman that attracts me to a woman, and I'm attracted to pussy. I like that too. I like to eat. I like to do stuff with it. And so there's a certain thing about dick that I'm attracted to in another type of way. And so that's a whole other conversation that we probably can have another story, but I'm not going to jump on that because I've already got enough trouble. My phone is blowing up, so I'm going to be cool.
Right. Listen, you say it's going up, but multiple, like, I'm sure. You on speed dial.
I'm just, you know, y'all can ask me whatever question you want to ask, I'm going to answer it. So,
so
Jordan name.
So I want to hear Kyron real quick.
I think my answer is short and sweet. When it comes to trans women, I think women are women, period. I don't think of trans women being, oh, that's a trans woman. Oh, I don't think it's a woman. I think of a trans woman as a woman, period. I'm not attracted to women at all. So I will treat a trans woman as a queen, as I would treat a trans woman as I would treat my mother, as I would treat my sisters, as I would treat my cousins that are females. But however, I am not sexually attracted to a woman in any way. And that's okay. It's okay not to be attracted to a trans woman. And that doesn't mean that I'm trying to be discriminatory, or I'm not trying to be inclusive or whatever. However, because everything is so offensive these days. But when it comes to me, I'm not attracted to a woman. And I don't discriminate when it comes to a trans woman or a straight woman. A woman is a woman to me, and that I am not attracted to.
So real quick, just to continue with the conversation, we will be having a conversation with trans people on next month. So tune into that conversation if you have more conversations around the appropriateness of conversations with trans people. So, since we're on this,
somebody said,
somebody
said, yeah, and then go ahead and all the somebody.
No, I saw it.
Okay.
I was moving on.
Hey,
So,
we got it.
Oh, Simone, as a trans man, I have not been offended by anything said. This is a great transparent conversation. All right.
Whoever said that, they need to hire
Saturday DM Princeton. Anyway, I digress. That's what's on the screen.
Here we go.
That's what's on the screen.
But I said, okay.
All right.
I
So
said
anyway, as it relates to going back to sweetheart sessions, right? Which is our topic. When we talk about sweetheart sessions, which are these intimate conversations, do you find yourself having sweetheart sessions more often than not without condoms? And why?
Ooh, let's talk about it.
I would say that I will have a sweetheart session, not a sweetheart sessions.
Ooh.
Because I feel everybody can't get the sweetheart sessions. Everybody is not made for the sweetheart sessions. Everybody doesn't qualify for the sweetheart sessions. Sweetheart sessions for me are somebody that could possibly be a lifelong sweetheart. So I'm very picky on who gets the sweetheart session because that's somebody I can possibly see myself being with and somebody that I can go on the long haul with. And everybody shouldn't be privileged to a sweetheart session if they don't qualify.
Oh.
So when you have a sweetheart session, Tyron, do you find, going back to the question, just to complicate things a little bit, do you find that those sessions often happen without condoms?
Without what?
Without condoms.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, if I'm being 100% real, we all love raw sex. But I'm a big on communication. So I want to communicate with the person that I'm having the sweetheart session with. Are we both on prep? Are we both when's the last time we've been tested? I won't say that it happen every time because it don't. Sometimes we're in the heat of the moment and the stuff, it doesn't go all the way that we want it to plan. But however, my majority of the questions that I always ask if we are HIV positive or negative, and I hate to sound irresponsible because it sounds that way, but I think that everything else can be fixed. You know, everything else, chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, we can go into the doctor and get taken care of. HIV and AIDS, we can't. However, it's still a risk we take when we want to have raw sex. I prefer raw sex. It just feels much better to be completely honest. You know, I prefer raw sex and I want to have raw sex, but I always do have a conversation about the status prior to the sweetheart session.
You know, listen, I could have a conversation around raw sex all day, but I want Jordan to answer the question.
Of course you want me to ask the question. So for me, I would say it's about the same. It's a conversation, it's a discussion. I am HIV positive, so I prefer to have a conversation with somebody and let them know up front. But what I usually get is, okay, you're undetectable? Cool, I don't care. And I'm like, well, let's talk about this a little bit. Do you understand the whole process? That's when my risk reduction specialist comes in, and that can kill the mood. But when it comes down to a sweetheart session, I don't necessarily have to penetrate you with my dick in a sense. And so I can use, like I said, I can use my fingers, I can hit the prostate, I can make you come from that, and I can talk to you, do all types of stuff. I'm just keeping it real. So with that being said, when it comes down to wearing a condom, yes. When it comes down to you actually putting on the condom and actually having sex with somebody, it's a mindset. Does it always happen? No. And I'm saying that, and I'll probably get in trouble for that because of the work that I do. But this is after dark. This is my time. I'm not representing no agency. Please, you had that on recording. I am Jordan Edwards. I'm representing myself. And but when it comes down to that, yes, I prefer raw sex. That's just my honest opinion. And it's the intimacy of where it was meant to be. You have to have a conversation with somebody, and you connect souls when you have sex with somebody. So yes, having a sweetheart session is not necessarily for everybody because not everybody can handle that or take that into a mindset of separation of we're not going no further from here.
Absolutely. And thank you, Jordan, for being vulnerable enough and having using this brave space to share that. Definitely, we appreciate that because that's what it's all about. Even though we have lighthearted conversations, we definitely always want to be able to acknowledge when people are able to walk within their truth and walk within their truth without any consequences. Oh, and also with that said, as to individuals who have worked in the public health field, anybody that's a panelist or a guest or even in the comments or like on below the belt, don't worry about anything coming against you or harm you because the community is going to be behind your back. This is a conversation that is for the community, by the community. And if any agency, any CBO, ASO has a problem with that, then we'll make sure that we rally behind them to make sure that the proper procedures and everything else are rally behind them because this is a conversation for the demographic that y'all or that you have your branch to reach out to. So if you have someone of that demographic, instead of just tokenizing them, let that truth be that truth and not what's inside of your brand or what's inside of your mission. And I thank you.
All right, man. That was your pageant answer, sis. So I just, as we get ready to have a little fun.
Rhonda is a fool. Rhonda saying, how many approved sweetheart sessions can I have for summer 2020? Well, summer 2020 only like a couple more weeks, Rhonda.
You got to get that nut inside you, so. So we want to ask y'all some fun questions. So what's on your sweetheart session playlist? Give us like 2 or 3 songs. Host got to play too.
Oh, see, I know these.
I know. So we're going to start with the panelists. We always go into Kyron first. So we're going to go to Jordan first.
Steven just said he had tipped.
I'm going on my Spotify right now. Let me tell you what's on my list. I will say that. You say you going first, Karan?
No, go ahead.
It's on you. So what you gonna do? How?
So one of my top ones would be "Would You Mind" by Janet Jackson, and so I have a couple of other ones too. And if you haven't heard it, look it up because it's worth listening to. Let's see what I got on there because I got a couple of things. "Would You Mind" "Focus" stays on my playlist a lot of times, and "Skin" by Rihanna.
Somebody said "Skin."
See, there we go. That's it.
Okay. Come on.
Let me tell you this. I'm a true soft top at heart. So what that means is I can't play no music that I know while I'm having sex. None. Because if Beyonce come on, I'm like, tonight I wanna dance for you. Hello. I can't play no type of music that I know during sex that I love. So let me tell you, when I have to, when I have to set the mood for sex, I'm playing all trap because I don't listen to trap music on the daily basis. So honestly, when I'm having sex, like planned sex, so I know that something's gonna happen, I put on Future. I'm listening to all Future albums. I got a Future playlist of all his songs. I don't know none of them. Even the songs that are popular, I don't know he sing them. So when they come on, that's what I need. And they so terrible, and they match everything that need to go on at that moment. So Jordan, add some Future to your playlist, and I'm telling you, you're gonna go to another level.
Well, see, I like to dance and strip a little bit, so I like to stroke with the beat. So I kind of want to know what I'm listening to.
Let me tell you, Future got some shit.
Okay.
They're talking about him fucking these women.
Okay.
Because
I'm gonna do that.
For me, I like to call it a pussy. Some people don't like to call it a pussy or whatever, but I do. I love to call it pussy. Like if it's a pussy, whatever. Right. But Future got some shit that make you hit the second. That make you hit the second hole.
Okay, we're gonna have to share a playlist. We're gonna talk about this.
Okay.
Okay, so you, Adonis. What's
on
playlist?
Both of them, man.
They both win.
What's clever? Honestly, my favorite song. Somebody put I saw who was that? Johnny. He said "Sweet Love" by One Swift. I love that song. Of course, I love "More" by Silk. And what else? Millennial. My big brother was Gen X, so I'm definitely H-Town all day. Anything chopped and screwed, I'm definitely down for. With this Frankie Beverly Mays, Kurt Franklin, I got the victory. Long in the room, yeah, all that chopped and screwed, baby. That's just the move. You know, I don't care what it is. It's
I got the victory. I got the sweet.
I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna play.
Not Yolanda, not Kurt.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Okay,
I want
so
no parts of that.
Let me tell you something. We all part of ourselves, and he sees all, right?
So my three, it depends on each one of them is depending on.
He ain't really pulled up his list. I want y'all to know.
My list.
Can you show the list in the comments after the fact so they can see?
Boots. So number one, if I'm feeling a little cunt, it's How You Want It by Tiana Taylor.
Okay.
If I'm feeling like, if it's like trade and I'm like, really going in, it's Dangerous. I think that's by Meek Mill. And then, if I really, really like, if I really, really like, if I really, really like you and you really know who I am, then it's I feel good all over myself.
Listen, y'all gonna play her mom to the 80s and 90s gonna be, y'all don't do it like this no more. All that beat them up, shoot them up, 2 Chainz, all that shit.
If you make me feel good all over, baby, you might as well go and change your address.
Mary and Chris both said need a baby. I love you just because.
I want to know who else in the comments. Who said who else, what other playlist you got in your little free playlist? Who else got a playlist? It's the Smile for Me, Clyde. Okay.
Bye.
What else? Nothing But a Number. Oh, you into hookups, Sylvester? Okay, you taking me to high school. Boots. Okay, so it was another question in there.
I want to go answer the same one.
Yeah, no, from Malachi.
Oh yeah, right. Cause that's a good one, and that definitely does define the sweetheart session about do you give them
right there. Bottoms. Yeah, bottoms one.
Do y'all give the bottoms a warm soapy towel afterwards?
It's 2020. We do baby wipes.
Well, baby wipes only gonna get so much though, then. So you say just baby wipes. So you got like he give him a little pack.
Baby, you got you can use your little wipes. Don't mess up my good towels. My towels are good. Don't mess up my good towels. My towels are good. We can get some wipes to get you. That's the wipes. You get a 2-in-1. You got the cleanliness of it, and it's almost a towel. So you ain't gotta get that on my good new.
There's more the dominant part coming out there. You say this shit. You got listen. We gonna reduce, reuse, recycle. Set this shit up. One is the white and one is for the remaining.
Use how many ever you need to use, but don't go on my what they say my fine china. Don't use my good towels.
Okay. Hold on, now I don't play it like that. Now I'll give you a warm rag, wash clothes, soap, water. Yeah.
No, I believe in a stern soapy towel.
Yeah, but do not use my decorative towels for a month. Don't even dry your hands.
Well, first of all,
okay. So if you request a towel, because first I'm gonna hand you a wipe. I'm gonna hand you a wipe first. But if you say, hey, do you got a towel? Then I'm gonna give you a towel. Like I'm not gonna tell you, oh no, you can't have a towel.
Hold on, if you cleaned up with a wipe or a towel.
Who?
You.
I clean up with a wipe. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I feel like I don't need to like a towel. You have to do too much. Like you have to get the soap. You got to lather it. You got to make sure the water the right temperature. With a wipe, I can just grab and wipe. I can just grab and blah 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 and be on my business.
What Ronald is saying is important. Okay. It really is depending on how you use lube. So it's one particular hookup back in the day that I used to do back in the day in the public sector, in the restroom at the bottom of the building.
Oh my!
And I have to clean up silicone lube with these wet wipes. You can't clean up silicone lube with wet wipes.
That's why you use water based.
See, maybe we get in that because I'm all about silicone. Well, it depends on who you penetrate all that. Because some people, that's another conversation. You may not need lube. You see what I'm saying? However, it's all about the type of lube that you use. But I'm not.
Wait, have y'all experienced the new wipes that are called dude wipes?
Yes, I buy them in bulk, especially when the toilet paper store running out at HEB.
They are amazing. They can hold some lube.
And
They can hold.
yeah,
They can hold.
they're thicker than the normal wipes. However, I'm old school, so I like the soap and towel because I need two wipes with the soap and towel, and then a wipe with just the hot water. Let's see.
What else? What other questions y'all got? Listen, y'all.
And then deodorant in between the creases after, because you don't want to walk around no sweaty ass ball for all the tops out there, or even the bottoms. That is a man's tip. I put the deodorant in there, all that, because you don't want to piss, put on your drawers, and have no swamp fouls or swamp fries. Right? They make deodorant $4. You can make your own. I'm DIY king. Get the cocoa butter, get the shea butter, get the baking soda, little cornstarch. White. It's gonna
Not no cornstarch.
get us there.
Come on, recipe.
Come in.
Oh, recipe. You better go ahead and patent that for somebody else.
I've been in the game a long time, and even now I know where the music was going. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, we want to give y'all a real quick to just like leave whatever thoughts. I know this was a crazy conversation. Y'all did not know what to expect getting on here.
And somebody said, "Bring down."
Well, we thank you all for coming. So, Kyron, what's your last words? Your last thoughts? Where can we find?
My last words are go visit my website, www.softtopapparel.com. Once again, that's www.softtopapparel.com. I do have it trademarked. I do have a whole business running here, and it's more important now than ever because, as you all know, we are dealing with the pandemic. And I've been a flight attendant for 7 years, and I've just received a warning saying that I will be furloughed October 1st. So I'm going to focus all my power and my mindset into being a Black gay business owner. So I'm going to go full time with my Soft Top Apparel. And right now we have shirts, hoodies, hats, and tanks. I'm looking to expand to jock straps. I'm going to do some underwear, and I want to do socks and a lot of other different things, masks and all that. So I just ask for support from you guys as, you know, I go through this difficult time. And for many people who don't know, I just bought a brand new car without knowing that I was going to be furloughed, because we were told prior to that it wouldn't breach my seniority, but things have changed because the numbers are going back up as we thought they were trending down. So I just ask everybody for their support in that, and watch out for all my things that I put out as being Mr. Gay Texas US of A, which I have to reign for 2 years because of the pandemic. And I'm the current reigning Mr. Gay Sin City US of A, which I will represent Texas and Las Vegas at Mr. Gay US of A next year.
So before you go back on mute, Kyron, what's your social media so we can commit to going and buy some of your apparel tonight?
My Twitter is Be Intimidated. It is BE_intimidated. I have 45,000 followers on Twitter. My Twitter is crazy. It's all my thoughts. It gets a lot of interaction. A lot of people, I have a lot of tweets that go viral, which means nothing basically because you don't get no money from it unless you're a celebrity. But I do have a really, really big following on Twitter, and I talk about a lot of my thoughts. Some are controversial, some are not, but if anybody knows me, I'm always going to speak what's on my mind and say what I believe in. And 9 times out of 10, I'm always going to go for whatever's right. So if you're looking for somebody that's going to be on the wrong side of right, then I'm not the person for you to follow. But however, yes, so King Kyron on Instagram, Be Intimidated on Twitter, BE_intimidated on Twitter, and Facebook, Timothy Kyron Jackson.
Please put all in the comments if you greatly appreciate it. Yeah, we're definitely going to support. Definitely send us some of the apparel. We'll definitely patronize you. But definitely send some to us so we can promote it, because we all buy it.
We're going to buy some.
Yeah, we're definitely going to. Oh, yeah, I said buy. But let me tell you something. This pandemic is hard out there for a pimp. You know what I'm saying? So we're definitely gonna support any black queer people under the umbrella. I'm supporting Ian Haddock. I don't know what this is called, but I'm supporting it because he makes the shirts and expeditions.
That's it.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Oh, and one more thing. I do want to say that my my company is run solely by gay people because I wanted to keep the money in the community. So my business manager is a gay man. The people who make my shirts and produce them are gay people. The people that ship out my shirts and do the shipments are gay people. So I wanted to make sure that the money stayed in the community because I know people had a issue on Twitter. There was an issue on Twitter yesterday actually because there has been a 4-week wait on my clothing, which was in the beginning because I had 100 orders the first day I launched my website, and that's because I have 2 gay men who are handling all the orders. So if 2 gay men I'm giving all the profit to. Then it's going to take longer than if I was to hire a corporation of non-gay people to get all the merchandise done. So I just wanted to make sure that I said that it's for us, by us, and produced by us.
Absolutely.
Right, what's up?
Absolutely.
Right.
Jordan, what can we find you? What's going on with you?
And so I do not have a fans only page because the OnlyFans page somebody just sent me ask me a question. I do not have one. I am on Twitter, but I don't have like a social media presence on Twitter. I usually just follow it for the content that I find. But you can find me on Instagram at Jordan J. Edwards or Jordan J. _Edwards. You can also find me on Facebook at Jordan Edwards. I also have my art page because I'm a painter. So it's Creations by Jordan J. Edwards. And so you can find me on there. As far as closing thoughts, I appreciate being able to be here and be open and honest, as I try to be, as always. And, if anybody have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask me.
What I just said, they keep saying cut or uncut.
Cut.
Yeah, I go quick. Hit me up about this.
So
wait, when Jordan finished, hold up, Hunt. That's your OnlyFans name right there. Because OnlyFans is...
No, I got a name planned out if I ever do, so don't worry about that.
Hey, okay, closing comments. My thing is this has been a great conversation. It's been informative. Here below the bell, we try to make sure we have conversations below the bell. We try to educate you, empower you, and make you aware. All I can say is make sure whatever you do, that you do it safer and without anything and everything. Make sure these closing words are so important. It's also going to be the same. Always white front to back.
So, in closing, I'm Haddock. I am the leader of the Normal Anomaly Initiative. We are a digital storytelling organization that is for us, by us. We do this. This is what we do. We create content. We help other nonprofit organizations create content that is engaging, that is empowering, and mostly it's educational with an edge. Always doing things in excellence and in innovation. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you had a good time. Have a wonderful night.
Please like our page. Is everybody all right? Is everybody okay?